Hi, my name's Sue. Welcome to Sue Marie P. Today I've been testing the second test for a buckwheat bread. I'm on the search for the perfect buckwheat bread. This one is made without yeast and no rise, no wait time, and it's really soft and it's got a really thin crust. So if you'd like to see how to make this delicious soft buckwheat bread, test number 2, come with me and let's see. So step 1, this one is not vegan. It has got yogurt and eggs in it. So if you're after a vegan recipe, I'll pop a link up above. But I've got 200 grams of Greek yogurt. Actually, it's Turkish yogurt. Couldn't get Greek yogurt here. And I've just popped that in my large bowl. I've got 2 eggs here, 2 medium to large eggs. Just going to whisk those. And in here I've got some, what's called psyllium, if I've said that right. Psyllium powder, which is a ground psyllium husk, 14 grams. I'm just sprinkling that on top. Actually, I'm going to use the fork to mix all that through. And psyllium powder or husk can turn your bread a little bit purple. So what I discovered was if you add acid, I know there's acid in the yogurt, but I'm adding an extra tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and hopefully that will do the trick. I'll swap now to this flat whisk, just to make sure the psyllium powder is all combined. Oh, before I started filming, I've preheated my oven to 175 degrees C with a fan, and that's about 345 to 350 Fahrenheit. I've got this kind of like gooey mixture. I'll set that aside and that'll get all like gel-like and thick. So the next step is we're going to whisk our flours. So I've only got 60 grams of buckwheat flour in here, and I've ground some oats to make it oat flour, and there's also 60 grams. If you need to make it gluten-free, make sure that your buckwheat flour is labelled gluten-free and your oats are gluten-free. And into that we're doing a teaspoon of salt, and there's no yeast in this recipe. There's only 2 heaped teaspoons of baking powder, which is 10 grams. I'm going to give my yogurt mix another 5 minutes and we'll come back and then we'll combine everything. In the meantime, there's no tin or pan for this. All I do is I do a free-form loaf on my baking tray, and I've got a bit of paper there. So get that ready and then we can form the loaf. So I'm back to mix everything together. So I'm going to pop the flour mix on top of the yogurt mix, and just let's combine that. I'll do it with the spatula first to bring it all together. So you'll be able to see the texture that's forming. This takes a while to bring it together, but just be patient. You should end up with a clean bowl. Now I'm going to pop the gloves on. And if you feel that the dough is a bit moist, like I think today for some reason, because I've added the vinegar, I need a little bit more flour. So I'm just going to grab the buckwheat flour out and add a little bit more. Just grabbing the scales out. Just adding a heaped tablespoon. So let's do 20 grams at a time. Bread making is so much about having the right texture and consistency, and sometimes when you adapt recipes you need to just eyeball it and pop that to one side. So grab your tray and grab the dough out. I've got a little bowl of water. I'm just putting my gloves in the water just to clean them off and just so I can smooth over the bread. So I find with this kind of bread, even if it doesn't look too perfect, it kind of sorts itself out in the oven. Does that make sense? Okay, that's pretty good. Looks a bit rustic, but I'm going to take the gloves off. Got a little bit of oat flour from what I mixed up before. I'm just sprinkling that on top. Just for fun, I'm going to put some flax seeds on top. So the buckwheat bread looks like that, ready to bake in my oven, and I'm going to bake it for 60 minutes, and I can't wait to slice it open and show you. I'm going to pop it into the lower third rack in my oven. Just got my bread out of the oven. I'm going to let it rest for an hour before we slice into it, so I'll come back and show you very soon. I'm back with my buckwheat bread, and it's been a couple of hours and it's cooled down totally. I'm just going to slice into it to show you. It still has a slight purple tinge to it, but it's really soft and it's got a thin crust. I think this bread is better toasted than eaten fresh. I'm going to take a photo and I'll share the recipe with you, and let me know if you give it a go and what you think of it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. In another few weeks I'll share another test of a buckwheat bread. And stick around, I'll pop the links for some buckwheat bread recipes up above. I'll see you next time. Bye.